right, welcome back to Last of the Wild Men. We're going to keep going with the story of Iron John. We're going to add in a few things that I heard this last week. They're actually going to tie into this story really well. But yeah, let's get going, and I'm going to pick up where we left off. So the boy, he found the key, he unlocked the cage, pinched his finger, lets the wild man out, and they start to head into the forest. So that's where we're going to pick up. Wild man throws the boy on his shoulders, takes off, runs into the forest, and that's where they go. The parents come back, the king and queen. They come to find that the cage is open, it's empty, the wild man's gone, their son's gone, and they figure out, they put the pieces together pretty easy what's happened. And that's the end of their story here for now. So let's go into the forest. The wild man takes the boy to this spring, he takes him off his shoulders, puts him down, and he says, "Don't worry, I know you're never going to see your parents again, but I have more gold and silver than you could ever imagine. You don't have to worry about that. I'll take care of you." And that's where their story begins here in the wild. And so the next day, the boy's sitting, and the wild man talks to him about this spring. He puts him beside this spring, and he's like, "This is a clear spring. I need you to watch over it. Don't let anything fall into it. It's really important. I'm going to give you this job. Don't screw it up. I'm going to be gone for the day, but when I come back, I want to make sure that you didn't let anything fall in there." So the boy's like, "Sure, I'll take care of it." Wild man takes off. The boy's sitting there, not much to do. He's looking in the water. He sees how clean it is. And then he keeps feeling this throbbing in his finger from when he pinched it in the cage. And he eventually thinks, "Oh, it'd be refreshing if I just dipped it in the water." So he puts his finger in the water, and it immediately turns gold. And he covers it up. He's like, "Oh man, like I'm going to be in trouble." So he's like, "What am I going to do?" Wild man comes back at the end of the day, sees the boy, and he knows something's up. He's like, "I thought I told you not to put anything in the river or in the spring." And the boy's like, "Yeah, you did." And he's like, "So what happened? I can tell something's going on." And the boy sheepishly like pulls his finger out from behind his back and shows him his finger, and it's a golden finger now. And he says, "Okay," he's like, "this is just once. Don't let it happen again. I can forgive you this time, but don't let anything happen in the future, okay?" And the boy's like, "Yeah, okay." So day 2 comes along, and the wild man's going to take off again for the day. And he tells the boy, "Just make sure nothing falls in there, okay? I'm trusting you." So the boy's like, "Oh, okay." And so he guards the spring again. And while he's not watching, this hair floats into it, turns gold. And he's like, "Crap," pulls it out. And when the wild man gets back again, he realizes, like, something's up. You're not acting fully right. What happened? Did something fall in? He goes, "Yeah, a hair dropped in there." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "That's twice now. Don't let it happen a third time. I'm going to trust you one more time. Just don't let anything fall into the spring." And the boy says, "Yeah, okay. I won't let anything happen again." Third day comes. Wild man leaves. The boy's there, and he's looking in the water, and he sees like a golden fish, and he sees this golden snake swimming through the water. And then he sees his reflection, and so he's looking deeper and deeper and deeper, looking at his reflection, looking straight into his own eyes. And he's not realizing as he gets close, his long hair falls off the back of his head, touches the water, and his hair turns this bright gold. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm in for it now." So he takes his handkerchief and he tries to pull his hair up, hide it under this handkerchief because the wild man's coming back. The wild man comes home and looks at him, and he's like, "What happened?" And he's like, I didn't mean to." And he goes, "Pull that handkerchief off your head." Pulls it off. He's got this golden hair, and he's like, "I told you, you to protect the spring, not let anything fall in." And he's like, this is 3 times. I'm going to have to send you on your way. You're going to have to go on and take the wilderness on your own. But don't worry, if you're ever in trouble, come back, yell my name, yell Iron John into the forest, and I'll come and help you." And that's where we're going to kind of cut it here. So there's basically 3 things like that we're going to pull from this part of the story. The first is you've got to be removed from the familiar in order to become what you're meant to be. So as a man, like, you've got to get, that boy has to get away from the comfort of the city, the comfort of his parents, the security of the castle. It is this emotional orbit. Hey, Odin. Many men don't ever escape this emotional orbit of their parents, from this idea about what they should be and not what they're supposed to become. I think a lot of us can resonate with that, as far as We do what we're told. We work, we become successful at doing things that society or our parents have deemed us to do, but yet we never chase what we know deep down we want to find, and that's the wild man bringing that to life. As you get in touch with that primal masculinity, it's leading you away from the comfort, away from the city, away from that family tie, where, yes, you're safe, but you're not free. You're still locked into these patterns that have been given to you. So that's the first part of it. The second part to pull away is the wound. So when that boy opens the cage to let the wild man out, he pinches his finger. He gets this wound. And isn't that what happens when we're young? Like, when we're in touch with that wild man, we're reckless, we get hurt, we get these wounds. But then we're taught as children, or I shouldn't say as children, as young boys, that if you get that wound and it stops you from playing, that you're girlish, or that it's shameful to be hurt. And then we don't want to tell anybody. We stuff it deep down. And we're led to believe that a man will just keep moving forward even though his guts are dragging behind him. Like, it's this mentality of just push through, and even though you're wounded. And this part is what I want to tie into one of the comments I had this last week. And on one of my posts or one of my ads, somebody had commented about, "You're not special. We all bleed red. Just go back to work. They're like, you're no different than anybody else." And I just responded and said a few things, but it's like, isn't that the problem? Like, isn't that what we've been taught as men? Is like, when something's wrong or when we've been wounded, it's like, just shut up, put your head down, keep going. Like, you could be dying. This could be the thing that's finishing you off. Your guts are dragging behind you, but you're just going to put your head down, keep moving forward, because that's what men do. And what kind of trouble does that lead to? Like burnout, divorce, midlife crisis. That's what a lot of us are doing. And we're not realizing that there's this wound that needs to be looked at. It needs to be walked through, and it needs to be realized and understood so that we can move forward. If not, you just have this gaping wound that is with you the rest of your life, slowly killing you. And instead, if we actually understand where that wound came from, why it's there, what patterns have led to it, we can actually heal it. And then we have a scar, which becomes the map for us to move forward. And that's a big part of what initiation is, or what rites of passage are supposed to do. It's to shine a light on what that wound is, so that you can heal it, confront it, heal it, and it becomes the path for you to move forward. And so that leads into his finger becoming gold. And I'm not going to get into a big part of this here. We go into that in the 12 labors. We talk about the wound, and we come at it from multiple perspectives, because it is a big topic and something that's hard to understand, something that I didn't fully grasp when I was going through the psychology of this years ago. And it's taken a while to get there and a few different perspectives to do it. But basically, I've come to understand, and Iron John shows us in this mythology, that wound is created when we're young. It can be created by the wild man. It can be created by our parents, society. But if we never address it, we tend to take on addictions, numbing, entertaining, to try to cover over it, but we never actually sew it shut. And what a rite of passage will do, or what an elder will do, is come along, help walk you through it, help you to understand it, so that it can heal, and then it becomes the map to move you forward. And in doing so, you become, or I shouldn't say you become, it creates an opportunity for you to use it to become the gold in your life. And what that means is just, it could be the thing that allows you to pursue something or give back or add value in a way that nobody else can. And that's what we dig into in this portion of the 12 labors, but really powerful. So that's him dipping that finger in that wound into the water, coming out gold. It's like you could find your gold in the thing that has been hurting you since childhood, or since whenever that wound was inflicted. So that's two things to pull from that story. And then the third is, it's kind of weird. The wild man boots him out, right? He exiles him into the wild, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cruel. He's now throwing this boy out into the wild. But don't look at it as exile. We can look at it as a chance to be initiated. It's your time to be separated from that comfortable life separated from that mentor and giving you time to become who you're meant to be, to go through the trials, to go through the rites of passage, to come out the other side, having built yourself and built your new identity. So it's a death to that old self and then a rebirth to this new man coming out the other side. And that really is what the boy being let go into the wild on his own is. It's like we look at it as, well, you didn't follow the rules, so now I'm punishing you. But it's not just about following the rules. It's like sometimes we do fail, but in every failure, there's a seed of an equivalent success. So it's like failure doesn't necessarily mean you screwed it up. Failure could be that new path for you to figure out who you are, who you're becoming, and allow you to forge yourself into this new identity. So that's the third part of the story. But the wild man's not truly abandoning him. He's actually creating the environment to foster growth for that boy to become a man. So that's kind of the third part of that story. So we will end the story there. But yeah, really, really interesting stuff. There's a lot in this, again, not just in Iron John in this fable, but in parts of it that love to chat more about. So we'll pick up next week. I think we maybe have one or two more segments of the story left. And then, we'll move on to some other things. But thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, we'll catch you later.